Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling something pretty much all of us strive for, right? Making really smart financial choices. I want you to picture this. You're doing the responsible thing. You're saving money every single month. $100 here, maybe 200 there. You feel disciplined, and honestly, you should. But today, we really need to look under the hood. We're going to confront the mathematical realities of what's actually happening behind the scenes of those savings accounts. Okay, let's dive into this. $50. Imagine you open your banking app one day, super proud that you finally hit that $10,000 milestone in your savings. But then you look at the interest. That account is probably earning something like 0.5% interest. So what does that actually mean? It means after an entire year of leaving your hard-earned 10 grand just sitting there, you've made a grand total of $50. Meanwhile, you're constantly hearing about stocks, index funds, and compound growth, and you kind of can't help but wonder, wait, am I doing this wrong? So that brings us to part one, the savings illusion. Look, if you're saving consistently, you are doing a fantastic job. But here is the hard truth. Saving money alone will almost never make you wealthy. To understand why, we have to look at the fundamental difference between the actual job of a savings account and the job of an investment portfolio. Simply put, savings protect your money while investments grow your money. Those are two totally different jobs. A savings account is essentially a vault. It keeps your cash completely safe from harm, but it doesn't put that money to work for you. Section 2, the power of compounding. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it shows time doing the actual work. Let's look at the math here because it's pretty staggering. We start with that exact same $10,000. If you put it in a typical savings account earning 1% interest, after 20 long years, you'd have about $12,200. Not great, right? But historically, the S&P 500 stock market has returned about 10% per year on average over long periods. If your 10 grand earned 10% annually, after 20 years, you're looking at roughly $67,000. It's literally the exact same starting money, but a completely different outcome. The real magic here isn't the initial interest rate. It's compounding over decades. The biggest wealth gap isn't actually between people who save and people who spend. It's between people who save and people who invest. Section 3, the psychology of fear. So let's address the elephant in the room. If the math is so overwhelmingly in favor of investing, 67 grand is obviously better than 12 grand. Why don't most people just make the transition? Well, the reason is entirely human psychology. Saving feels safe. Investing feels risky. When your money just sits in a savings account, you can see it. It's totally stable. It doesn't randomly drop 5% on a Tuesday afternoon. But investments, yeah, they move. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. And that emotional volatility scares people away. It is completely fair and totally natural to not want to lose your hard-earned savings. Section 4, the 5-step path. The good news is you don't have to jump in all at once. Here's a high-level roadmap to transition safely. We're going to look at 5 simple steps: building an emergency fund, separating your money, starting small, focusing on simple investments, and finally, being consistent. Let's break these down. Step 1. Before you invest a single dollar, you need to build a real emergency fund. We're talking 3 to 6 months of living expenses, saved entirely in cash. And this money, it stays right in your savings account. It's not for investing, it's not for jumping on some hot new stock opportunity. It is strictly for unexpected problems: a sudden job loss, a medical emergency, or your car breaking down. The biggest reason people panic sell their investments is simply because they need the cash too soon. This cash buffer protects your investments from, life happening. And this brilliantly illustrates step 2, mentally separating your money into 2 different buckets. Bucket 1 is your safety money. It doesn't move, and its whole job is just to protect you. Bucket 2 is your growth money. Now, because you're already protected by your safety bucket, this growth money is allowed to fluctuate because its long-term job is to grow. Just mentally separating these 2 buckets dramatically reduces the anxiety of investing. Step 3 is to start small. A lot of folks think they need thousands of dollars to even begin investing, but you absolutely don't. Many platforms today let you start with just $50 or $100. Your initial goal here isn't massive profits anyway. Your goal is simply building the habit. When you're just starting out, establishing that muscle memory of investing matters way more than trying to time the market perfectly. Moving to step 4, we focus on simple investments. Beginners often make the mistake of jumping straight into really complicated, risky strategies. Day trading, options, crypto speculation. But honestly, simple investments usually win. Take index funds, for example. Instead of trying to pick one magical winning company, index funds just track the overall stock market. They allow you to invest in hundreds of companies all at once. You get instant diversification, lower risk, and steady long-term growth. And hey, you don't just have to take my word for it. The legendary investor Warren Buffett has repeatedly recommended low-cost index funds for most investors. Think about it. If the most successful investor in history says that simple is better, that's definitely a strategy worth paying attention to. Keep it boring, keep it simple. Step 5 is where the whole shebang comes together: consistent discipline. The single most powerful investing strategy is just consistently putting money away. Imagine you invest just $300 a month. If the market averages an 8% return after 25 years, you'd have roughly $285,000. But here is the absolute craziest part. You only actually contributed $90,000 out of your own pocket. The rest of it, almost $195,000, comes strictly from investment growth. Compounding literally does almost all of the heavy lifting for you. Section 5. Stability versus freedom. To handle the inevitable, kind of uncomfortable moments of investing, you really need a mindset shift. Think about it like this. Saving money is like storing seeds in a glass jar. You're protecting them perfectly, sure, but absolutely nothing is going to grow in there. Investing, on the other hand, is like taking those seeds and planting them in the dirt. At first, it looks messy. You don't see results immediately, but over time, those seeds sprout, they grow, and eventually you have something far, far bigger than what you started with. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this mindset helps you stay resilient, especially when market crashes happen. And they will. Crashes are completely normal. They've happened dozens of times in history. But when markets drop, prices are lower. That means your consistent monthly investments are actually buying more shares for the exact same amount of money. Because you acquired all those extra shares at a discount, you're going to see much stronger returns when the market inevitably recovers. This right here is why experienced, long-term investors stay so calm during downturns. They aren't thinking in days, they're thinking in decades. So the crucial point is, saving gives you stability, but investing gives you freedom. You really need both to build a truly powerful financial future. Saving protects you from the unexpected, providing that absolutely vital safety net. But investing is what actually propels you forward, allowing your money to work just as hard as you do. I want to leave you with this final thought. Take a second and think about your own financial journey right now. Are you currently in the saving stage, building up that all-important emergency fund and creating your safety net, or have you already started planting those seeds in the soil and making the transition into investing? Wherever you are, taking that next step is exactly how you unlock your financial future. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.